Dear brothers and sisters, you are welcome to World Gospel Broadcasting Network. Today, I'm having the president of the alumni evangelistic team of the Bear Valley Bible Institute of Cameroon, by name Minister Ebue Marcellus. He's preaching with the Kamlikum 2 congregation in Kumba in the southwest region of Cameroon, and also the Secretary General uh, in the person of Basis Solomon, who is also preaching with the Alaska Street Church of Christ in Kumba, all in the southwest region of Cameroon. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, dear minister and journalist, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pleasure for me to be here this day. Thank you.
Okay, let's begin our discussion. What is Bear Valley Bible Alumni Evangelistic Team all about?
Bear Valley Bible Institute Evangelistic Team is a group of preachers from the Bear Valley Bible Institute Cameroon. In other words, ex-students who deem it necessary to come together for the sole purpose of preaching the gospel of Christ. So, since the first batch of students came out from the Bear Valley Bible Institute Cameroon in Wututu in 2012, upon graduation, they saw the need to go to their various places, communities where they are preaching as one man to continue to share the gospel, revive congregations, and in some occasions help those in need in those various communities by their own efforts with their little means. And that's how the group began. And as we speak, it's about 10 years today that this group has been existing, and they have done great work in this area of evangelism, because the mission is evangelism. The goal or the mission or the motto is evangelism is our mission, and our mission is evangelism. And that's what we have been doing for all these years.
So, how many ministers can we be talking in total that are in this association as we speak?
Yes, as we speak, we have about 105 ministers who have left the school for this number of years, and though not all are in the work, because some pass away, may their souls rest in peace. Some are not in good health, so because they are not in good health, they cannot really move, but they are preaching their congregations. And some are really in places that they don't even have communication means, but a good number are responding to this call. I think more than half of this number are responding, though not in a regular basis, time to time challenges. Also, we are in a very challenging zone where we have the crisis, the Anglophone crisis. So we try to put our efforts together to see that we continue to do the work. But that notwithstanding, the fire keeps burning.
Well, Minister Solomon, welcome, sir. I'm happy to have you. So far, at least you are the Secretary General. You are able to have this. Can you estimate the number of places you people may have gone for evangelism so far?
Okay, we say thank you for having me to this great interview, Mr. Journalist. It's really indeed a blessing and a great move to be a part of this wonderful body called alumni. So, as the president has rightly said, the group has existed for 10 years today by God's grace, and we are still moving and going forward by the special grace of God, though it is not easy and the road has been too rough with so many challenges. But so far, to your question, I can be estimating in these 10 years that we have gone or we have been existing, we have gone to, let me say, because we estimate we in each year we go to this evangelism move 4 times a year. So putting all the figures together for these 10 years, we have gone to roughly 40 places, 40 different places to storm those areas, revive congregations, build new congregations, and continue to expatiate the word of God in these 40 different areas that we have gone to.
Mr. President, can you, since we started, what is the relationship of this association and the church in collaboration in the evangelism?
Yes, you know, all the members of the alumni evangelistic team are preachers of various congregations. And because we are all preachers of various congregations, we work together with our congregations. That's why when there is need somewhere, that's where we move. Where there's a need for evangelism, winning of souls, preaching to restore fallen members, we go there, and also to revive the congregation, maybe leadership tussle and so on, differences with the preachers. We sit and discuss and trash out things, and the work continues. So that's what we have been doing in these 10 years, and about 40 different places we have been doing. And our mission is really to win souls, because the church in Cameroon, and especially in this zone, is still at that low level with a lot of infrastructural challenges, and also the churches are still needs a lot of nurturing. So as we are doing the work, we sharpen each other as preachers. You know, iron sharpened iron.
Mr. Minister Solomon, what are some of the challenges that you are facing in the course of this mission?
Okay, thank you for that interview, for that question. The thing is, like I will cite some of those challenges that we are facing as far as in the course of experience, as well as we have been going to places. Like the president really said, most of the times we face one of the greatest challenges that we face is security challenges. A security challenge. For example, I will quote an instance in the year 2022, January 2022, that we went to a place called Matondo 2, 19 precisely. Yes, due to what we are facing in the Anglophone region, where we met a lot of security challenges. We were caught in the crossfire, but God being God, He helped us and nobody was injured. So security challenge is one of the greatest challenge that we face as far as this mission of evangelism is also concerned. And you know, in areas where, since we are in a country that is less developed infrastructurally, and we face a lot of challenges during rainy seasons, when we go to places where where we want to go for evangelism, we experience bad roads. The roads are very bad. I can't remember when we went for evangelism in a condo TT precisely. Yes, and in the month of June, that was the heart of rainy season in the southwest region. I quite remember we left a condo TT around 11 o'clock, but we arrived Kumba the next day, 1 a.m. in the morning. So you can imagine this, the challenge that we have on transportation, and because too much of bad roads. So that is some of those challenges that one of those of the major challenges that we face in the course of us visiting these places.
All right, Mr. President, when it comes to funding, because I heard your speech during the graduation ceremony at the Bear Valley Bible Institute of Wotutu, Cameroon, you did spoke of maybe chariot that could come and help to facilitate evangelism. You also did talk about sleeping challenges. You did mention about. So can you emphasize on some of this or what you meant?
Okay, yeah. Before I go to that, I want to add to what the secretary just said. You know, in the midst of this security and bad roads, there's the major problem of transportation. You know, many ministers are really willing to go to places, but bad road obviously increase prices, and it's not easy to penetrate those places when you don't have the means. So it's really a challenge. So yes, we I made mention in my speech about the chariot. A chariot is a equipment carried truck, a truck that carries equipment, because since we are doing evangelism, and during our evangelism we have outdoor preaching, so we need this truck that has appliances like instruments, big speakers, good equipment, so that we can preach. People can get us from far distances. So it's really a great need for us, especially as this outdoor preaching is concerned, because each time we are on evangelism mission, we have outdoor preaching the days that we are there. So this is very, very important. It's very needful for us to have it. And also we have this lodging problem, which is a serious problem. Remember, the congregations are mostly very young and small congregations, and they don't have places that can really lodge us. You see, at times we'll sleep in a worship hall,
Sometimes congregation in
remote
that have
areas,
limited resources to
limited
provide
resources.
adequate logistic for.
So we really need mattresses, these mobile mattresses that we can go along and put somewhere, and if possible tents, so that we can sleep well and then get up and do God's work. So these are some of the challenges. And also, to add to that, we are talking of security challenges. We need to really identify ourselves with some like badges. We are thinking that if we have fun, we can print t-shirts for ourselves. That when we go to a place, we put on our t-shirt, we can easily be identified. We should not, so that even those in the confronting camps, we can, through our t-shirt, we can be identified that these are people are for God's work and be spared. So those are the things that we have as challenges, but the chariot is very important for us.
Now when
because
when it comes to the sources, maybe for funding, do you have sources, maybe some sources of funding, and if they are adequate, what do you people expect, maybe probably,
you
to
know
facilitate all these challenges?
this funding issue, when we come like this, we do some contribution for our feeding, uh, new members who are graduating, they do registration. These are our little sources that helps us to keep running. But we are really pleading for sources. The Bear Valley Bible Institute, Cameroon Ututu, which is connected by uh, Minister David Bala, has been doing a great work to assist us. But his hands are also tied. He cannot do everything alone. His hands are tied. So we are pleading that those who have God's work at heart should join this work and help us so that we can do more for God's glory. Because as you know, the field is ripe, the laborers are few. We need resources to do more for God's glory. And I want to encourage all of us, everybody who is listening to us, if God touches your heart and you want to assist this Bear Valley Bible Institute alumni evangelistic team in Cameroon, and know your labor in the Lord will never go in vain.
That's good. Minister Solomon. Now let's look a little bit about the individual ministers and probably their challenges. When you look at ministers and what they probably go through in this nation, what can you say about it?
Based upon that, the situation is very, very sad when it comes to how individual ministers are faring in their various congregations. First of all, if we know the system that we have in Cameroon, I will first of all say those that came with the gospel to Cameroon, they laid a very poor foundation as far as it concerns brethren taking care of their ministers, the welfare of the ministers. Because if we go around congregations in these areas and look at the way these ministers are faring, trying to make ends meet, the sacrifices they are putting through to make sure they are well or to be fine to preach the word of God, it is not suffice, or it does not suffice enough. It is not sufficient enough. Because if we look at them, I will quote an instance. For example, you see congregations like one of our ministers that is was sent to Ediki, for example. I would not like to mention the name. Ediki, for example, this minister has his family, a married man with children, and to take care of this, at times he will go to his farm to go and make ends meet, come back, he will not even have food to eat. And the people that he is preaching to, they are even unwilling to support him, even with, let me just say, raw food for them to even sustain. To sustain this day, you see, we eat bread with his family for a day to
become a little bit of challenge, Mr. President. Now let's look a little bit about probably passing through this association to help even the preachers. Probably some of them have mobility problems and the work is vast, that maybe if they are provided with some bikes, it could help them. Some of them just need even little support that probably per month could help them pay their house rent, could help them sustain. How do you think anybody who is listening to you people, who is willing and have something to support, how can the individual uh, do that?
Okay, uh, as you rightly said, there are a lot of challenges for the individual preacher because they are really willing to do gospel. If not, the sacrifices they are making is not easy, but because they are willing, we still remain on the pulpit and try to do our best. So, mobility, as we said, some are in very remote places which they need bike to travel. Some even need some support, maybe at the end of the month, some small support to help them keep food on their table and continue to preach. So if everybody who is listening at this moment and you want to assist us, I think for now we want to use our alma mater as a source through which we can have something, through the Bear Valley Bible Institute Alumni Evangelistic Team Coordinator. You can also channel your support through Minister David Ballard or through our the director, because we are still planning to put our own things like accounts together. So
Probably email address.
email address, all those things we have to put it together. But we have our contact now. My contact also, my contact is 675596859, 675596859. So from outside of the country, you add 237 plus 237, so that you can get to us, and it will really be appreciative.
Okay, let us be concluding. Let me begin with you, Minister Solomon, and the Secretary General of this beautiful and powerful association. What would be your last word, and probably to those that have been supporting, and maybe possibly some words to those that are part of this program?
Okay, we at this point in time, I want to say that it has been a very nice experience for me as an individual to be part of this wonderful movement called the Bear Valley Bible Institute, and be a part of this evangelistic team for the sole purpose of God, of winning souls for the kingdom of God. I would like to first of all begin to say thank you to our coordinator. You will know that is a man that has the work of God at heart, and we know his sacrifice he has been putting in place to make sure this our work of preaching the gospel goes to a higher height. And I want to also appreciate even some our directors who are also in their one way or the other and trying to create connection and create impact and giving us advice and giving us directions on where we are falling short. And this point is that I want to also plead even to all those, as we always say, Oliver Twist. We use his yeah, that what they're doing we appreciate. We are very
We need more.
thankful to them, but we say if they can go beyond just supporting the general team and looking at most especially the welfare of this minister. That is what is in our hearts, our cry, the way they can support the president has said, if it means that they can support them with some transportation means, because I quite remember, by the grace of God, when we were graduating out of the Bible Institute, by the grace of God, I graduated as the valedictorian and presenting a speech on that day. That was one of my greatest plea in my speech to the coordinator, providing transportation means, like providing things like the president has cited bikes for the graduating ministers and those that are on the fee, so it will ease their movement to to go to places. And if ministers have this bike of this means of transportation for to sponsor them for the trip to go to places, it will not be a problem anymore. Most of them will carry this bike and go to these places. So for us paying for more sponsor for transportation, or increase in transportation for those that are coming out, it will be of problem of yesterday. So that is one of the things that I wrote, and I pleaded in my speech while I were doing our graduation.
Okay.
So we are pleading for them to also continue in their means and to increase more.
All right, Mr. President, you are concluding remarks.
Yes, we want to thank all those who have been in one way or the other, materially, financially, and spiritually, seeing that this movement is going ahead, and to use the opportunity to thank all the ministers, the evangelists who are in the field working and making sure that alumni will keep fulfilling our mission, which is evangelism, the winning of soul, and to appreciate all, and to appreciate the coordinator, Minister David Ballard, for the great work and sacrifice that he has been doing, and to say we need more, like the chariots, like the mattresses, like increased means of transportation, because as time goes on, graduates are coming into the association, the number keeps increasing, so we keep increase in our transportation costs. So I want to appreciate everybody, and God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much for being part of this interview with, of course, the president of the Bear Valley Bible Institute Alumni Evangelistic Team and the Secretary General who were here with me. Of course,